Hey everybody, it's Molly with AllEars, and I'm at Walt Disney World bringing you a brand new video series. That's right, I said series. It's gonna be a 5-parter called The 50 Best Things You Can Do in Walt Disney World. It's gonna be so much fun. From attractions to entertainment to tips and tricks and things to eat, we're gonna cover it all. And each of the 5 episodes is gonna have a different theme so you know what you're getting into. And episode 1, rides and attractions. These are some of the must-dos when you come to Walt Disney World. Let's go. One of the best things you can do at Walt Disney World, especially in the Magic Kingdom, is ride a classic opening day attraction. There are so many attractions still here from opening day, about 15 in total, and they are some of the best attractions here. In fact, I did a whole video where all I did was ride all the opening day attractions. We'll link that for you. But some of my favorites include Dumbo, the Haunted Mansion, and Peter Pan's Flight. You absolutely must do these Disney attractions when you come. They're quintessential Disney magic at its finest. Let's go on a few of them right now, shall we? How about Dumbo? Dumbo does look a little different than it did on opening day, however, because there used to only be one Dumbo, now there's 2, and it used to be located right in the middle of Fantasyland behind the Carousel. But now it's over in Storybook Circus, which is a new part of Fantasyland, and it has not only 2 Dumbos, but it has this super awesome interactive queue. It's actually a playground inside in air conditioning, circus themes that your kids can run around and play, and mom and dad, you can sit down in the air conditioning while you wait. Another classic attraction I'm going to insist you ride upon when you're at Walt Disney World is Pirates of the Caribbean. It's not an opening day attraction. Walt Disney World opened in 1971. Pirates of the Caribbean didn't actually open until 1973, but it is as quintessential a Disney classic as any, and probably my favorite on the list that I'm sharing today. So you absolutely must go ride Pirates of the Caribbean while you're here. Another awesome opening day attraction here at Magic Kingdom is the Jungle Cruise. It is, again, a Disney classic, most known for its skippers and their ridiculously bad jokes. Peter Pan's Flight, one of the most popular attractions in Walt Disney World still to this day, almost 50 years later. It is an absolute must-do. Another fabulous opening day attraction and rite of passage is the Teacups, officially known as the Mad Tea Party. It's the one where you spin around in a teacup, so good luck to all of you. Possibly the most beloved Disney attraction of all time is also an opening day classic that you must enjoy, the Haunted Mansion. Seriously, people love the Haunted Mansion. There's a whole shop dedicated to it. People decorate rooms in their house like the Haunted Mansion. It is just Disney magic at its finest, and it is a cult classic. So you've got to go visit those 999 happy haunts while you're here. When you visit Walt Disney World, do you expect to see lions? How about hippos, crocodiles, sharks, and more? One of the coolest things that you can do while you're here is go on attractions that feature live exotic animals that you're not going to see in your backyard. Unless you live somewhere really cool, in which case I'd like to talk to you. Please leave me a comment if you see lions in your backyard. But at Kilimanjaro Safaris here in Disney's Animal Kingdom, this is the best attraction to see live wild animals. These are real. These are not animatronics, friends. This is an awesome attraction. It's over 20 minutes long, and it takes you through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve here in Animal Kingdom, the Africa section, and you will see live lions and rhinos and elephants. Oh my. That was a really good safari. We got to see the cheetahs really well and the hyenas, which I adore. We got to see a sleeping lion, no elephants sadly, but rhinos really close. It's about 5:30 in the evening, so one of my favorite tips is if you're able to ride safari more than once, it's really interesting to see what animals you see. Oh my god, we saw so many giraffes, I forgot about that. It's always interesting to see what animals you see at what time, because if you go in the mornings, they may be more active. If you go right after it rains, they may be playing in the puddles. It's almost dinner time now, so they're active. So if you're able to, check out Kilimanjaro Safaris multiple times on your trip, and you may see multiple things. Now I'm headed to go over to the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail, which is one of the walking trails here at Animal Kingdom where you can see more animals. And if you've got some time to kill or you've got someone in your family who loves animals, this is a really fun thing to do during the day. There's not a queue, you can just stroll through at your leisure. It's a really fun animal activity. In this room there's some less adorable animals, but someone will probably dig them. That's a snake. Gross. That's a snake. Gross. Here's this really gross lizard. I'm sorry, lizard. You know what? It's probably not very good for your self-esteem. This part is so cool because you can grab a bird spotting guide. And you can go through this part of the section and see how many birds you can find. Just saw a hippo underwater. Also, here's a hippo skull. So that's horrifying. Hippos are actually the most dangerous animals in Africa because they're really territorial. So people would go near the rivers in the evening time and the hippos are like, nah. And then they're big and scary if you're in their way. So, little fun fact for you. Can't get enough animals, definitely check out the Maharaja Jungle Trek, which is over in Asia section of Animal Kingdom behind Cali River Rapids. It's a whole new jungle trek with a whole bunch of new animals. Tigers, bats. Huge. I do not like it. But if you like lizards, come check out this huge kimono dragon. I don't see any bats. Are they sleeping?
Sorry, I'm very excited. He's been gone for a long time. And I hate to disappoint, so I'll be going.
Oh, how beautiful.
Door, because it's almost time for him to get dinner.
Another great place to see real animals, the Seas with Nemo and Friends. I am here at Epcot and this is a great attraction for the whole family. The little ones who love Nemo are gonna love the clamshell attraction where you jump aboard and you retell the story of Finding Nemo, and then once you exit into the sea base. Bye. You exit into the sea base, which is a huge aquarium. It's actually the second largest saltwater aquarium in the world behind the Georgia Aquarium. And there are manatees and dolphins and sharks and fish and tons of real animals to check out. It's a lot of fun for the whole fam. If you're totally into the Seas with Nemo and Friends, check out our totally tubular video where we did all ears rides the seas and you'll learn a ton of fun facts and info about the attraction. We'll link it for you. The Seas attraction actually ends with them projecting Nemo and Friends into live tanks with live fish, and it's really, really cool. And then you exit here into the sea base where you can explore and check out all of those aquarium exhibits, and it's super, super fun. It's a great place to come if you need a little air conditioning, maybe have your kiddos burn off a little energy while you're waiting for your next Fast Pass, and of course, learn something about submarine life. Absolutely one of the best things in Walt Disney World, Toy Story Land. The new land opened up in the summer of 2018 and it puts you into Andy's backyard and you're shrunk down to the size of a toy. 2 new attractions opened with the land as well as a reimagining of the entrance of a park favorite. There's a new eatery, you can meet the characters here, and the detail in this land will blow you away. One of the cool things is if you look on the ground, you'll see these gigantic footprints. Those are Andy's footprints to let you know how teeny tiny you really are. I recommend using mobile order everywhere, but especially here because it gets a long line, and if you do mobile order, you can just zip right over to this window and not wait in the line and grab your food. I love the bathrooms here because they're made out of blocks, but notice what toy's up there? Cooties! Because it's the bathroom and it's gross. Get it? The first attraction in Toy Story Land is Alien Swirling Saucers. It's a 32-inch height requirement and it puts you in a car and you spin around with the Pizza Planet aliens. Slinky Dog Dash is the new roller coaster attraction in Toy Story Land, and it's one of the most popular rides in all of Walt Disney World. Definitely one of the hardest Fast Passes to get, so if you can get one, I highly recommend grabbing one for this because you don't want to miss it. Slinky Dog Dash has a 38-inch height requirement, and it's got a little more bark than you thought it might when you initially see it, but it's super, super fun, and it's a great one for the kiddos. Once they've mastered the Barnstormer, take them on Slinky Dog because it's like a step up as far as intensity goes, but it's so much fun. The third attraction in Toy Story Land is Toy Story Mania, which is not a new attraction. It's actually been open for over a decade, but it's still one of the most popular rides in all of Walt Disney World, and it is so much fun. Anyone can ride it, and it's a shooting game like Buzz Lightyear over at Magic Kingdom, except for it's in 3D, and you're playing different carnival games with your favorite Toy Story friends. It's a blast, and the whole family will have fun. It gets a little competitive sometimes. My next must-do here at the Magic Kingdom, the Triple Mountain Challenge. That's when you ride Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Splash Mountain, and Space Mountain in just one day. These are 3 classic Magic Kingdom attractions, and they are oh so much fun. First up, we're headed down the Briar Patch with Brer Fox, Brer Rabbit, and Bear Bear. Brer Bear. That's right. First one, Splash. Ready for mountain number 2 on the Triple Mountain Challenge. It's the wildest ride in the wilderness, Big Thunder Mountain. Yeehaw! Gearing up for mountain number 3, Space Mountain. Let's blast off. Some people like to kick up their Triple Mountain Challenge by making it a Quadruple Mountain Challenge, and that means adding 7 Dwarfs Mine Train. Whilst it does not have mountain in the name, technically you go through a mountain. Well, a mine, but it's a mine in a mountain. So if you really want to kick it up, I definitely recommend adding 7 Dwarfs Mine Train, and regardless, I definitely recommend riding 7 Dwarfs Mine Train because it's one of the best rides in all of Walt Disney World, and you definitely want a fast pass for this one because it is also one of the most popular rides in all of Walt Disney World. One of the absolute best things you can do in Walt Disney World, ride the tallest attractions. That's right, I am talking Tower of Terror at Disney's Hollywood Studios and Expedition Everest over at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Both of these attractions are 199 feet tall. Why not 200, you may ask? Well, anything over 200 feet by law has to have a bright red flashing airplane beacon on it, and that would really ruin the ambiance of the Hollywood Tower Hotel or, you know, the Forbidden Mountain. So because of that, Disney caps everything under 200 feet, and they use forced perspective to make things look even taller than they are. Are you nervous? Are you scared? Let's drop in. At 199 and some change feet tall, Expedition Everest is another of Walt Disney World's tallest attractions. On this attraction, you are headed up the Forbidden Mountain in search of a legendary creature, the Yeti. It's amazing, and it's probably my favorite thrill ride in all of Walt Disney World. I love this attraction so much. From the theming to the thrills, my stomach drops every time. It's incredible and an absolute must-do when you come to Animal Kingdom. Daredevils, this next one is for you. If you are here at Walt Disney World for thrills, then you absolutely must do the fastest rides in Walt Disney World. The fastest ride in Walt Disney World is right behind me. It's Test Track. It hits almost 65 miles an hour on that outdoor track, and it is so much fun. You get to design a car and then test it out on the sim track, and it is absolutely a must-do. Test Track is very popular, so if you want to ride, I recommend either using that Tier 1 Fast Pass or going in the single rider. The single rider means your family will be split up, as you will just be filling in odd-numbered party seats on the cars, and it means you won't get to design the vehicle, but it does mean you'll probably get on much quicker than if you were waiting the regular line. What's this? I think they're going to let me design a car even though I'm in single rider. That's actually never happened to me before. I went into single rider and they actually had some of the design stations open. Now you don't get to fully design your car like if you were in Fast Pass or the standby queue, but I did get to pick which attributes are most important to me and then pick a car out of the bunch, so much more than normal. So maybe it's because it's not that busy right now, or I'm not sure, but you may get to kind of design a car in single rider. Rock and Roller Coaster may not be the fastest ride at Walt Disney World, but it's definitely the fastest acceleration. You go from 0 to 60 in just over 2 seconds. Rock on. Let's go. Oh, my hair. I guess that's what Rock and Roller Coaster does to you. Pandora may not be Disney World's newest land. It may not even be Disney World's second newest land, but it is still incredible and absolutely should be on your Disney bucket list. There are 2 attractions here, Navi River Journey, which is a slow-moving boat ride through a bioluminescent forest, which anyone in the family can ride. And if it doesn't have a long line or you're able to snag a fast pass later in the day for it, I absolutely recommend it. It's really pretty and the animatronic is amazing. But the creme de la creme, the absolute must-do attraction here is Flight of Passage. It is like no ride I've ever been on, and technologically, it's the most advanced ride Disney's ever done, and any ride I've ever been on anywhere that's not even Disney. You are gonna fly on the back of a Banshee. It's in 3D. It's incredible. Make sure this is on your must-do list. It's a very hard, in fact, the hardest fast pass to get in Walt Disney World, so either get here early before the park opens, do an after hours, or keep refreshing for that fast pass. One of my favorite things about Pandora is the food as well. There are 2 main food options. There is the Pongu Pongu, which is a drink stand where you can get a really pretty margarita or a couple other drinks, non-alcoholic as well, that are brightly colored and they've got those boba balls in them, as well as a pineapple lumpia, which is kind of like a pineapple cream cheese egg roll, which sounds odd, but I promise it's delicious. Also, you can go to Satuli Canteen, which is a quick service location which specializes in different bowls where you build your own customizable bowl. You pick the base, you pick the protein, and you pick the sauce. Really, really fun, and definitely something different than most quick service you're gonna find in a theme park. So if you're looking for something a little bit different, a little healthier even, Satuli Canteen is a great spot. Another reason I really like Satuli Canteen is because you get real silverware and real plates, which just kind of classes up your quick service meal. It's definitely a great use of a dining plan credit because the items are a little bit more expensive, but you could probably share the bigger adult size portions between 2 people with maybe a side or get a snack later. Something really cool in Pandora is they have a couple Hawks Grog and the Moara High Country Ale. Those are made exclusively for Pandora. In fact, the Hawks Grog is green, and over here there's wine on tap. It's called Banshee, and those are also made exclusively for Pandora. If you go on one attraction in Epcot, make it the one in here, Soarin'. It's absolutely incredible, and it's one that truly the whole family, as long as they're tall enough to ride, is going to love. It's one of the only attractions I can bring my smallest cousins and my grandparents on, and everyone's thrilled by the end. Soarin' is a hand gliding attraction that takes you over famous spots around the world. You're gonna sail over the Great Wall of China, the Sydney Harbor, an African savanna. It's amazing. You're gonna smell where you are. You're gonna feel like you're really hand gliding. It's truly incredible. So like I said, if you ride one ride while you're at Epcot, make it Soarin'. A great thing you can do while you're at Walt Disney World, especially for the Disney nerds and the Disney history buffs and the people that are going to appreciate this, is ride the attractions that were at or inspired by the 1964-65 New York's World's Fair. For the World's Fair, Walt Disney and his team were approached by 4 different companies to create 4 different attractions that still exist in some form or another today. They were It's a Small World, Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, the Ford Magic Skyway, and Carousel of Progress. Now, in some form or another, all 4 of those attractions can be found at the Magic Kingdom. Of course, It's a Small World and the Carousel of Progress. Ford Magic Skyway is actually the predecessor to the People Mover, and Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln was the predecessor to the Hall of Presidents. So, if you're a Disney fanatic, a Disney nerd, you've got to check out these attractions and, truthfully, be amazed that these were created in the 60s, because the technology is still impressive today. One of the attractions for the New York's World's Fair in 64-65 was It's a Small World. It was a collaboration between PepsiCo, UNICEF, and the Walt Disney Company, and it remains one of the most popular attractions across Disney parks today. The song was written by the Sherman Brothers, and the design of the attraction is largely attributed to legendary Imagineer Mary Blair. Inspired by the 1964-65 New York's World's Fair is the Hall of Presidents. This was actually Walt's idea. This was actually Walt's idea long before it existed. He dreamed of a show where you could go and you could see all of our nation's leaders at one time. Unfortunately, when he thought of this, the technology didn't exist. But they invented the technology, the audio animatronic, for the Tiki Room, and the World's Fair is the first time they used it to create humans. And one of those attractions was Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, inspired by Walt's favorite president, Abraham Lincoln. He really admired how Abraham Lincoln kept the country together and ran the country in such a difficult time. So, Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln inspired the Hall of Presidents, which was an opening day attraction here at the Magic Kingdom. Carousel of Progress in Tomorrowland is another attraction here at Magic Kingdom that made its debut at the 1964-65 New York's World's Fair, and if you couldn't guess, it was sponsored by General Electric, which the branded appliances that are all GE may have given that away. Since the 64-65 World's Fair, the show's gone through a few iterations. Mainly that last scene has been redone to kind of keep up with the times. Now it's like early 2000s-ish, but this is an absolute classic, and you gotta love the Sherman Brothers wrote the music again. Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow. The last attraction inspired by the World's Fair is the Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover. The attraction that inspired it, though, was called the Ford Magic Skyway, and it was Ford convertibles that were hooked together and they were moved along using wheels or tires that were underneath them, and it was the predecessor to the Omni Mover system, which is what you see here at the People Mover, as well as Haunted Mansion, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, Under the Sea, the Seas, etc. So, thanks to the Ford Magic Skyway, we have the People Mover, which we can all say thank you for that, because who doesn't love the People Mover? Nothing like kicking back and relaxing on the People Mover, am I right? Bright suns, y'all. One of the best things you can do in Walt Disney World is visit the newest land, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Here you are taken to the planet Batuu, and I promise it's the most detailed and immersive land you will ever go to. If you're a diehard Star Wars fan and have been dreaming of visiting the galaxy far, far away for over 40 years, prepare to have your mind blown. And even if you're not a huge Star Wars fan, you will be amazed at the detail and the immersiveness in this land. It's incredible. In fact, let's go check out a few of my favorite things to do here in Galaxy's Edge. I do have a full video tour that explores every nook and cranny of Batuu that we'll link for you, but for now, let's go check out a few of the highlights. Head into Oga's Cantina. This is the watering hole for all of the scoundrels here on Batuu. You do need a reservation right now, but sometimes they allow walk-ins, but I highly recommend getting a reservation. There are all kinds of provisions in there, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, so your kids are welcome to come in, and they are some crazy cocktails. My personal favorites include the Fuzzy Tauntaun, which turns your mouth numb. I like the Jet Juice. I like the craft beers that are made exclusively for Galaxy's Edge, and DJ Rex is a droid, and he is spinning the hits of a galaxy far, far away. It's a party in there. My other favorite thing to eat in Batuu is a Ronto wrap, which is a roasted sausage in a pita with some slaw and a tangy sauce. It is so good. And anything you get at Ronto Roasters are made by this droid. He seems like he's working hard, so thanks, buddy. My favorite things to eat are actually the snacks, like Kat Saka's Outpost Popcorn Mix, which is a blend of blueberry lemon pound cake and chili lime popcorn, like a sweet, spicy deal. I'm obsessed with it, but not everyone else is. Possibly the most highly anticipated experience in Galaxy's Edge is the chance to pilot the fastest hunk of junk in the galaxy, the ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. Of course, I'm talking about the one, the only, the Millennium Falcon. In Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, you get to take a seat in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon as the pilot, the engineer, or the gunner. It's a super fun, interactive experience, and you can go on it again and again, and you'll have a different experience each time, because it all depends on how well your team handles the mission. You know what? I feel the need to go on a mission for Hondo Okinawa right now. There is a single rider line here at Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, but a few things. One, you're gonna miss the Hondo animatronic, which is really, really cool, and you cannot request a position. You just get put in with another crew that needs a 6th member. So I recommend riding it for reals the first time and then going on it again in single rider, but part of the fun of this attraction is riding it with your friends and family. Especially if they're terrible at being the pilot, then you can make fun of them, which is me, because I'm terrible at being the pilot. So got in to the cockpit, I'm in the chess room, legendary, and I'm going to be a gunner. So that's probably better news for my crew than me being the pilot.
Por favor, permanezcan sentados y cuide a los niños.
Let's get another container of coaxium! Pilots, line up behind the train so we can harpoon that last car!
Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run is super, super fun, but again, it depends on your crew. And if you're in a group of people, I strongly recommend waiting in the standby queue so that you can all fly together, because I promise it'll be way more fun. One of the best things you can do at Disney World, have a fairy tale come to life around you. And I mean, like, not your own magical fairy tale that you make at Disney World, but one of the classics that you love so much, like Beauty and the Beast. Here at Enchanted Tales with Belle, which is part of New Fantasyland and Magic Kingdom, it tells the story of Beauty and the Beast right in front of you with audience participation, Lumiere, the wardrobe, and of course, Belle. It's absolutely a fabulous attraction, and if you've got little ones that love Belle, this is absolutely a must-do. One of the most popular fairy tales come to life here at the Magic Kingdom is that of a Little Mermaid, called The Little Mermaid. You may love it, I love it, minus one giant scary purple sea witch, but this attraction is so adorable and it puts you into the story of The Little Mermaid, if you didn't get that by now. Another place you can put yourself into one of the most popular Disney fairy tales of all time, Frozen Ever After, the attraction in the Norway Pavilion about Frozen, of course. It is such an adorable attraction. The animatronics are amazing, as is the music, and it should definitely be a must-do and one of the 50 best things you can do at Walt Disney World. One of the best things you can do in Disney World, fight with your family. What did she just say? That's right, fight with your family. And of course I mean a little friendly competition on Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin here at Magic Kingdom or Toy Story Midway Mania over at Disney's Hollywood Studios. They are both shooter games and you can throw two people in a car, and I like to bet my family who's gonna win, and I like to bet a Mickey bar, maybe a pretzel, maybe your favorite beverage. Choose something you want to bet, maybe the winner gets to pick the next ride. Choose something fun to bet, and then have a little friendly competition with your family to see who can get the best score. It's a good time. What bonds the family more than fighting? Well, that wraps up episode 1 of the 50 best things that you can do in Walt Disney World rides and attractions. These are some of my favorite attractions that I definitely recommend you check out on your next visit. But don't worry, we've got 4 more episodes to go. We've got entertainment, we've got snacks, we've got things to do. We've got a lot coming for you. Hopefully you had fun. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you want to see in the next few episodes in the comments. In the meantime, friends, make sure to rate, review, subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram at AllEars.net, and until next time, y'all, I'm Molly, and it's been magical. Want to see more of my videos? Click over here. Want to subscribe? You can do that right here. And also, ring that notification bell to make sure you get instantly notified anytime we post a new video. Thanks for following. See you real soon.